Hello, my name is Lei, and I'll be introducing you to ROBOTRIO, an illustrated audio drama and my personal passion project. That is a lot of alliteration, let's move on. The world of ROBOTRIO establishes an alternate timeline on Earth, where robots live as citizens alongside humans. This introduces new jobs for humans, namely an occupation called upkeeper. Known as maintainers outside the US, upkeepers double as mechanics and doctors for their robot clients. They usually give tune-ups every couple weeks, but this can be more or less frequent depending on the client. Most robots are mass-produced for the purposes of manual labor, such as construction and manufacturing. These bots have relatively rudimentary processors, and as a result they defer to the orders of others rather than their own. With that said, there is another common type of robot. These unique robots are seen as smarter because they are more explicitly self-conscious. They usually have a single creator and are thus one of a kind, being built for a more advanced purpose. Ace McNacho is a good example of this, as he was built to be a private detective. However, fully sapient robots can pose a threat to some minds. In the early 1980s, shortly after the release of Blade Runner, a sapient robot was found responsible for the death of a human, and a case was made to establish hard restrictions on robots to avoid the risk of a singularity-related revolution and/or genocide. One such law pertained to robot-exclusive procreation and reconstruction, or REAPER. The REAPER law forbade any robot from creating, upgrading, or repairing any robot, including themselves. This task would be reserved for human upkeepers and mechanics, along with any human who had the technical knowledge to enact repairs or similar acts. Furthermore, while a robot can request a repair or upgrade, they may not directly influence the creation of a new robot in any way, even when a human is creating the bot, as doing so counts as a REAPER loophole. There are other laws in place, both in the US and internationally, that compromise some robot rights in the name of protection from a revolution. However, there is a county in remote Wyoming that has become a haven for sapient robots. This includes the city of Exoville, the origin of many robots including Castelli's and Dant-1C, and the town of Limbersdale, where the majority of the story takes place. Throughout the plot of ROBOTRIO, the eponymic ROBOTRIO explores the spectrum of human emotions from an outside perspective, similar to Bionicle's majorly robotic characters. Another cue that ROBOTRIO takes from Bionicle is an underlying, although sometimes explicit, sense of teamwork and unity. Ace and Castelli's have opposite worldviews and personality, leading them to butt heads not unlike certain Toa of Fire and Ice. Dant is the mediator, helping the two meet halfway and understand each other better. He represents characters like Motoro and Gali. Finally, Takua's journey into understanding his identity shares a parallel to the main character of ROBOTRIO Cast, discovering his past and determining his future. He is an amnesia-stricken being unknowingly forced into a normative category, and while he initially believes he belongs to said category, there is a subconscious desire to learn about and ultimately uncover his mysterious origins. The other members of the trio each have unique story arcs as well. Ace is a private detective robot who believes himself to be the smartest in the room at all times, and while that's sometimes accurate, he eventually has to learn, the hard way, that everyone's perspectives are worth considering and valuing. Meanwhile, Dant demonstrates the pressure and difficulty that comes with being the resident peacemaker, and what would happen if he didn't take that role. Throughout future seasons, we explore concepts beyond character growth, how knowledge affects life and relationships, and how actions can shape the future, for better or for worse. The main story is accessible with audio only, but there are also illustrations that add a unique, animated element to the story. There are also various social media pages that offer updates and doodles, but be warned that these pages contain heavy spoilers for the first season. If you'd like to catch up, the first 2 seasons of ROBOTRIO are available on YouTube and Spotify, and Season 3 is currently in production with a projected release date for early 2024. Apart from the official series, we have supplemental material such as improvised skits.
Ah, I see. You're committing tax fraud.
No, it's not tax fraud. It's creative deductible management is what they call it. So, yeah.
I see.
Interactive character Q&A videos.
Butterflies or moths? Honestly, I'm kind of partial to both of them. Butterflies have these really nice patterns, but moths are nice and fuzzy. They both have their perks.
And animations.
Yes, you beautiful fool. Stop it.
There's even a Discord server where you can discuss the series and view amazing works that fans have created. What's not to like? We're also producing a visual novel that follows the events of Season 1, and it includes exclusive illustrations and alternate decisions and paths that you can take in the shoes of multiple characters. Lastly, there's a spin-off story in the early phases of brainstorming. Production for this project is currently postponed as ROBOTRIO takes priority, but it includes an entirely new cast of characters and explores more overarching societal issues. And that's ROBOTRIO! If you found this interesting, feel free to follow ROBOTRIO series on Twitter and Instagram for more updates, and type ROBOTRIO into the Spotify and YouTube search bar to listen to the show. I'm Lei, and I hope you enjoyed this segment of Beyond Bionicle.